Hello everyone, welcome to Sentence Diagramming 101. This video is about exercise 8D, poetic structure. So we're going to have some weird stuff happening in this section, just a lot of absolutes, speaking of, to start with. So bringing too much. And like I've said before, absolutes are really awful. You can only get away with them in very specific circumstances. In this case, I would say this doesn't work. Drinking too much, the business dinner is ruined. Right now, the dinner is drinking, and that's not what we mean. I would call this a modifier error more so than an absolute clause, but when you're dealing with poetry, sometimes you can, play with the rules, but that's definitely an absolute, and then we've got a gerund. So really, it's business dinner is ruined is our sentence, but let's get that absolute out of the way. So we're like drinking, and then how's he drinking? Much, adverbial, and then too much. You could also do it this way if you wanted. And you could also hang it off of the drinking, like, whoop, up there. You don't have to hang it off the line. But it's an absolute, so you're kind of like, as long as it's over on the left-hand side because it comes first, you're good. Really what we're concerned about is the rest of the sentence, which is the dinner, the business dinner, and then that dinner being ruined. Woo, ruined. There we go. Okay. Angry is the date. Who gets fired? So this is one where we have to flip it, right? Angry here is actually our subject complement, and date is our subject, right? And we got a linking verb. And then who gets fired is an adjective clause describing that date. So let's deal with the main sentence. We're like date, the date, and the date is angry. And then what do we know about that date? It's the date who gets fired. So which date? The one who gets fired. So adjective clause just like that. All right, moving on to number 3, we have their relationship over. So that's an absolute. So we're like, all right, the relationship. Their relationship. Their relationship is over. Now we kind of have our other sentence. We've got David, and then what is David doing? He's following. Then what is he following, or who? He's following Nadia, and then he's following her when she is, and then where is she? She's on a date, and then she's on which date? The date with Walter. So it's not that she's when she's with Walter, it's when she's on that date with Walter. And then this is just an adverb clause, so I put my when in there. All right, furiously yells Walter at his date. So we know that's a prepositional phrase. That's where he's yelling. Furiously is how he yells, which means I'm left with yells Walter. So I must mean Walter yells, right? So he yells furiously, and then he yells at the date, and then it's his date. Okay. And then Walter tries to stop the wedding, the dog barking. So what do we have? Our sentence is Walter, and what is Walter doing? He's trying, and what is he trying to do? To stop a thing. And what is that thing? He's stopping that wedding, the wedding. So that whole thing's my direct object. And then the dog barking is just like a little absolute over here on the side. So you're like, barking. Cool. All right, and that has been exercise 8D, poetic structure.